Hey everybody, welcome back to my small engine repair channel. Today I want to talk about equipment that's been left at your shop, but you've gone through all the paperwork, texts, etc., and you know for sure the customer will not come back to pick it up or want it a few months down the road. So this equipment is yours. Many viewers have asked me, what should I do with all this equipment? Well, there's a lot of things you can do with it. I do have a list here, and I'll give you the pros and cons of different options that you have with the equipment that now belongs to you that's been left at your shop. So what I'm going to do here is show you some equipment that's been left at my shop here during the summer. It's only a fraction of what's been left because I've already sent a lot to scrap. That is one option you can do with the old equipment. But I'm going to show you the equipment that I hung on to because there might be some good parts on it. So let me give you a small tour and then I will give you your options. Okay, let's start with this mower here. It's been left here because the customer doesn't even want to spend $100 to fix it. So this mower's not in bad shape. There are a lot of good parts on it. It could actually be fixed, but that's another topic. I'll get back to this machine later on. So I've had a lot of trimmers left. This is just a fraction of what was left here this summer. I've got a lot of pressure washer hoses. If we go over here, you can see an old pressure washer, another trimmer, some lawnmowers over here. Now back here I've got some push mowers again, and I do have a few lawn tractors that were left that needed major work. And more stuff over here as well. There's quite a bit, guys. And here's an older John Deere lawn tractor that's been given to me here. And if I move over here, I've got another lawn tractor for parts. And again, guys, what I've just showed you here is just a fraction of what was left here all summer. I have gotten rid of a lot of it because there was absolutely nothing good on some of the equipment, and I've actually sent it off to scrap. I give it to a friend of mine from town for free because for me to close the shop down for 2 hours for $40 to drive who knows where to which scrapyard is not worth it for me. Okay, here are your options. You can salvage parts from some of the machines, put them away in boxes or properly stored for easy access. That's one good thing, so that the entire machine does not go to scrap. You can also give this equipment to your local high school for the auto shop or small engine shop. That's another good option. Another thing you can do is you can give the old equipment that may be repairable to a friend or somebody in your community that cannot afford to buy new equipment. Those are good options as well. Some of the other options that a lot of viewers have asked me about is, do you fix machines that have been left at your shop and sell them? Well, I rarely do that. I rarely do that, guys. And another thing that you can do is sometimes take parts from 2-3 machines and make one good one. So fixing the machines that have been left at my shop, coming back to this subject, I don't do it too often, guys, because if that machine is seen in the community, the customer is going to think I screwed him, even though he didn't want to spend $100 to fix it. It's just human nature, guys. It will happen. And again, doing that, fixing machines that have been left and selling them, also if you give them to family and friends, can cause you problems in the future if the customer sees that equipment again. Even for me here, to make a video of equipment that's been left at my shop because they didn't want to fix it might cause problems, guys, believe it or not. So what's going to happen is people will forget that they didn't want to spend the money to fix their equipment, and they're going to accuse you of ripping them off, telling them it's not worth fixing, and then fixing it and making a video or selling it. So just be careful with that, guys. And personally, I'm extremely busy here in my shop. I don't need more work and I don't need more problems. So I'm super careful with that. The one thing I do a lot with my equipment that is not repaired here and left is I do have a few guys that I know that I trust, is I sell them the equipment as is. They can do what they want with it. And usually these guys live in another town, so it doesn't cause any trouble for me as well. You have to remember, guys, that people have a short memory. if they give it to you and then you fix it and use it or sell it. A lot of people don't get that concept. They will totally forget that and accuse you of bad things that aren't true. Just be careful with that. Now, there are some good customers that do leave equipment here and they really don't care if they see it in their neighbor's yard next week. So you have to remember that a lot of the equipment that will come in your shop, especially the small items, push mowers, rototillers, chainsaws, weed whackers, and stuff like that, the repair margins are extremely small here in Canada. People will bring me a 10-year-old leaf blower that you can buy brand new for $200. The carburetor from Stihl is $80, $90. It makes absolutely no sense to fix it, just like it makes no sense to fix a microwave or a toaster or something like that if it breaks. We live in a disposable society, guys. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is. Now, what you can do too is collect all the good parts of the machines. I think I've touched on that a bit. Use it for your future repairs or just sell parts. That's one thing you can do. I'm going to give you a quick glimpse in one of my sheds here to show you how I keep used parts in boxes so that if I need a part, I know where it is. So here's one of my sheds here. I do keep these locked, by the way. You can see a whole bunch of Stihl boxes, and I've basically marked everything that's in all those boxes. MS211, MS291, BR600 blower parts, which I don't work on those anymore because I lose my shirt 99% of the time working on those. Stihl MS230, etc. A whole bunch of parts, all identified with quick access. And look at all the engine covers for Briggs & Stratton lawn tractors. Now, these engines blow all the time, so I do try to save a lot of the parts from those if they're still good. But again, here's another view here, guys. It is a bit messy on the floor. Here's a bunch of recoils, lawnmower recoils, flywheels, all kinds of stuff. And I've got saws at the top here. So if I need a part, I just basically grab one and scavenge. I do find it's easier if you store the used equipment you're going to keep intact, unless you don't have room and you need to just kind of take the parts off that you need. I just find it's easy if I need a muffler screw for a chainsaw. It's much easier if I just grab a saw, take the screw off, and put it on the repair I'm doing instead of looking through bins. Now, when it comes to Stihl equipment, trimmers like that, I get so many that I just cannot keep them all. So what I do is I keep all the screws. I keep all the Stihl screws in a bucket. It's only Stihl screws in this bucket basically, except a few odd other socket cap screws. So if I need a Stihl screw, I'm sure to have one. Now, you can pay up to $5 for one of these screws from the Stihl dealer. So if everything else is bad on your Stihl equipment, at least save the hardware, the screws. Now, coming back to this mower here that the customer did not want to repair because it needed a new carburetor, a servicing and stuff like that. The risk of me fixing this, putting it at the end of my driveway and selling it is that the customer may drive by and see it for sale and then think that I screwed him. So usually what I do is I try not to sell too many machines because of that issue. And if I do sell it or give it, I give it to people that are further away so that there's no issues that can come back and cause me problems. Now, a lot of the time, if a machine's not worth fixing for my customer because my rates aren't too crazy expensive here, it's usually not worth it for me to fix it and sell it. But if I do accumulate quite a few machines that are the same, I can usually make one out of 2 or 3 machines. That usually works out pretty good for me. With the chainsaws, I found that I did better by just putting them in the boxes like I showed you in my shed here and just selling parts from the saws. It does take a lot of real estate in your sheds. You got to remember that, and you want to make sure what you keep in your sheds or garage that you will actually make some money with it. There's no point in keeping old equipment that you're not even going to sell $20 in parts per year. I used to have one of my sheds full of home light stuff, and basically I was using up all my space in my shed to keep old chainsaws like that I wasn't even making $100 a year from. So I totally got rid of them, and now I just save Stihl and Husqvarna chainsaws for parts. Now, the good thing about having a lot of good used parts, guys, if you do small engine repair, is that oftentimes if you have a used part and a repair comes in your shop, that used part will make that repair worth doing. So let's say you've got a good used part that you're going to sell to your customer for $50, but that part costs $200 brand new. The customer might think differently about fixing his equipment. It happens all the time here. People will always go for the used part, and your margins are much better for making money on a used part than if you have to go buy a new part that you may or may not make money on with your repair. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you've got good storage, keep it organized, and make sure that if you do need a used part from the stuff you kept, that you remember where it is. Believe me guys, it's easy to forget where all the stuff you've kept is, and sometimes I forget that I even have certain parts in my sheds. Now, one thing I never ever do here with equipment that's been left on my shop is post it for sale on Facebook Marketplace. That's almost guaranteed to cause you issues with a customer or their friends that have seen it. Unless that the person who left the equipment said, do what you want and I don't care if you sell it on Facebook. So again, just be careful if you do this. I'm not telling you guys what to do today. I'm just telling you what I've gone through and the problems that it has caused. Now, this video today is a series of videos that I've made in the past as well. One is called Why I Take Deposits, and the other one is how to manage equipment left at your shop, but on not how to get screwed. That's if people have left equipment at your shop and they don't respond back to your emails or texts or phone calls. I've put the links to those videos in the comment section so that you can go watch that. It's going to give you a bigger picture of what I'm talking about today. You just got to cover your butt, guys, because you just never know what people are thinking, and people will actually forget things quite easily. Make sure you're subscribed, guys. Let me know in the comments what you want me to talk about next time for your small engine repair business, and I will make another video. If I forgot anything on this subject today, please comment as well. And I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day.